Hello, folks, and welcome back to Illiana Stock Car Radio, episode number 37.
Hey, that's a Pettit number.
It is a Pettit number.
All right.
Yeah, so shout out to the brother-in-law, Donnie Pettit.
There you go.
Former mid-am.
Hi, Donnie. I'm pretending you watch this show.
Yeah, I don't know if he has a lot of time. He works quite a bit.
Yes, he does.
And I'm not sure how technically savvy he is to find it, but you know. But we're here nonetheless. Illiana Stock Car Radio coming to you. I am your host, as always, Jeremy Banning, alongside me, Chris Goodacre, owner-operator Goodacre Photography. Welcome back to the studio.
The basement.
The basement, yes. I was trying to make glamorize
the Bat Cave.
Yes, the glamorize it a little bit more than what it typically is, I guess. But,
this is the glamoury side.
We
could be over there with the sawhorse and wood scraps.
Yeah, you could be on like the workshop side, but we're on the actual studio side. So my basement, I guess what you're saying is kind of like a mullet. This is the business end, that's the party end.
Right.
Okay. All right, I got it.
Is this the front though? This is kind of like the side.
Well, we're working side to side, not necessarily front to back.
I feel like there's something there.
There probably could be, but we digress. Well, we got another good show for everybody lined up this week. So first segment here, you guys will hear our interview with, good Lord, he's doing quite a bit of everything this year.
Yeah, he's double duty, sometimes triple duty.
Yeah, so
driving the wheels off everything.
Yeah, sportsman, late model driver over at South Bend Motor Speedway. I think leading the Rookie of the Year standings over there.
I believe leading the point standings.
He's pretty close.
I haven't checked the points since this past weekend.
I checked them, but they weren't updated to include this past weekend. So as of my checking, he was still the sportsman late model points leader out of South Bend Motor Speedway. Also competing in the late model division at the Grundy County Speedway.
Yes, he is.
And dipping in the CRA Sportsman series.
That would be the triple duty.
That would be the triple duty, isn't it?
Duty.
We got Clay Curts with us this week, and
in spirit.
In spirit, we'll hear him audio-wise and spirit-wise here in just a little bit. So looking forward to that. Then after we wrap up his interview, we'll be back to kind of recap the weekend of racing that was, preview the upcoming weekend. Got a few news items.
News
on local racing here.
News is always fun
this week. So we'll kind of talk about that and get into all that. So that's what we got.
All right.
So we're going to get to it. So we are going to let you guys listen into it.
We'll be back, but you'll see us here in a fraction of a second.
Yes. So here it is, our interview with sportsman late model racer. I guess sportsman and late model racer. I guess we can combine them too, right?
The guy what drives the race cars.
The guy who drives the race cars, Clay Curts. So enjoy. Yep. Hey, Clay, it's Jeremy and Chris Goodacre with Illiana Stock Car Radio. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you guys?
Can't complain. Wouldn't do any good anyways, right?
Well, I mean, you could.
I could complain. I do have that forum, but I won't. Definitely.
You run the show.
In the interest of time, So, looking forward to having you on here, and definitely thanks for agreeing to come on and talk with us here for a little bit.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so we'll just get right into it. Just dive head first and kind of like ripping the Band-Aid off, I guess.
Or going way too far into the corner.
We're driving way too far deep into the corner, but we'll make it work. So you've made quite the rapid rise from Hornets to sportsman late models and super late models in the case of Grundy County Speedway. Just take a few minutes to kind of talk us through how you got involved and how that evolution has taken place, and especially taken place so quickly.
Yeah, it's definitely been quite the jump, I will say. We just again started out as the Hornets and just trying to get our feet wet and everything, and we had a sportsman available to us, and thought, what the hell, we did pretty good this year, might as well give it a try. And come around, we're not doing too bad, actually. Surprised by that, but it's quite the jump, though, I will say. It's quite the jump.
Yeah, it is quite the jump. Now, did you run street stocks in the middle? I know at one point I had seen some street stocks in the picture, but I don't know if you actually ever ran it. Did you?
Yeah, I ran, I think, probably like 3 to 4 times. Not too many times, but Dave had one sitting in the corner of the shop and told me I was always welcome to use it whenever. And we took it out to Grundy and South Bend once for the showdown, and then Rochester for the bracket.
Dave Daughter had a spare car sitting around.
Yeah, go figure, right?
Yeah.
So what for you has been the biggest transition going from, the 4-cylinder cars to the late model cars?
They're way more technical than the Hornets. The Hornet, you can get there and set your tire pressures and you're done for the day. And Sportsman, you're chasing it all night long and constantly adjusting, and you're never really getting any time to take a breath.
From a driving standpoint, what do you need to do differently? Is it, because you weren't in the 4 cylinders long, so some people might say that you didn't really have time to develop habits, so to speak. Is there any adjustment that you as the driver have to make going from one to the other, or since you haven't really had a whole lot of time in any of them, you're still just kind of starting fresh?
Yeah, you could say. I mean, there were some habits I had to break with just getting the car sideways and different ways of that, but then I was so new to it again, and kind of just learning things again. But yeah, there was definitely some big habits I had to break. It's completely different, a lot more speed, and it's a little different though.
Right, and you've already run quite a variety of tracks so far this year. You've been all over the place, competing Grundy County Speedway, South Bend Motor Speedway, done some stuff with CRA Sportsman late model races. What's that been like for you as a younger driver, still kind of learning, still kind of developing, to be going to all these different places and in these different circumstances?
Yeah, it's been fun, but it's definitely challenging. It takes me a minute to learn the track and get used to it. And going around chasing tracks every week, it takes a minute. The first couple hot laps is a little different, but eventually we figure it out.
What's been the biggest challenge, you think, from going from track to track?
Man, every track is different. You can never really compare a track to another track between embankment and just grip levels. And we were at Bearfield, and I have never experienced anything like that before, just the lack of grip. But I think that's the biggest thing. It's just a difference in all of them.
Is it, in your experience, still being, relatively new, is it fun going to all these different places and trying to learn how to run different places?
Yeah, I would say it is. You're able to go to these places and you usually learn something different in every single one of them. And you get to bring it back to your other tracks, and gaining that experience is very important early. And I think traveling to all these tracks has really helped me out.
So not to throw you under the bus here, but
he's definitely going to throw you under the bus.
I'm absolutely throwing you under the bus. Do you have a favorite track you've been to?
Track-wise, I'm going to have to say Rockford, but general experience is definitely going to be South Bend.
I'll let Tony know that he owes me $5.
Sounds like he had an underlying bet there going. I mean,
no, I just made all that up.
Sure you did. There's an ounce of truth in just about everything.
There is.
So you were able to pick up your first late model feature win this past June at South Bend Motor Speedway. Kind of talk us through that night, and that experience, and how that was for you.
Yeah, that was a rough night, actually. We had double features that night, so it was, twice as much work to do. And the first feature, we ended up wrecking out, popped the radiator, did a bunch of damage to the car, and didn't have too much time to fix it for the second feature. And went out there, and we were kind of having a hard time with the car. It wasn't handling it best, and just try to get through traffic and caught it to a lap car and use the advantage of that and took off with the lead.
Now, do you think when you picked up that first win, you kind of got that under your belt, do you think as a driver, it gives you more confidence to go out there and be like, okay, I kind of know what I'm doing. I can do it. I just got to do, X, Y, and Z to be able to do it again?
Yes and no. It changes every night, different where you start and getting through traffic. And the biggest thing at South Bend is it's all about what line you're in and who's in front of you. You have to look 4 or 5 cars in front of you and make your move 3-4 laps ahead of time. But it does help, it kind of gets your mindset of, you know what to do, just do it. And hopefully if you get up there and everything falls the way it needs to.
Sure. So, kind of a cool deal you guys announced last week. You will be driving Dan Ahern's number 34 Super Late Model closeout the 2019 season at the Grundy County Speedway. How'd that deal come about?
Me and Dave Daughter was planning on doing some work on it just to get it ready and track ready. And I was at the shop and we were working on it and just came up to Danny did some of the drive and I was there and he offered it to me and here we are.
So obviously,
Dave Daughter again had a spare car.
I see a common theme and a common thread here.
Yeah.
Definitely with that in mind, and definitely with the deal you're putting together to go run Grundy and now South Bend and everything. What are your goals for the rest of the season? What's your schedule look like? What are you hoping to accomplish? And because I mean, we're honestly, it's weird to say it, we're kind of getting down to
we're past halfway.
Yeah,
even though we've only had like 3 races.
Yeah, we're getting down to crunch time in the season. So, looking ahead over the next month and a half, what's your goals? What's your schedule look like? And what do you got?
Yeah, the main focus right now is going for the championship at South Bend. We this weekend kind of set us back just a little bit, but we're still there, and it's going to get really, really tight here coming to the end. But that's our main focus right now, and then obviously running out the rest of the season at Grundy and learning and trying to get this car better. I think we might run 1 or 2 more CRA races. Not 100% sure, but I would like to go to Winchester and Anderson one more time. But I think that's about it. That's the brackets maybe, but that's about it.
Right, yeah. I thought I saw somewhere you guys are planning on doing the National Short Track Championships.
Yep.
So, definitely we're talking about Anderson and Winchester.
Yeah.
Talk about places that'll get your attention, right? So, kind of on that same line, goals and future planning and whatnot. You're a recent high school graduate, right?
Yep. Just graduated this year from Shepherd High School here in Palos.
Well, definitely congratulations on that, and I think just about every other high school graduate or 18-year-old that we've talked to this year, we've kind of asked a very similar question, which has only been a handful, to be honest with you.
Well, yeah.
So what's next for you in that realm? What do we got next?
Looking right now at some sort of trade school. I live pretty close to Electrical Union over here. My cousin's gone through, and I talked to him about it, and it seems like a pretty big option for me right now. But there's always options elsewhere, of course. But I think that's the main focus.
All right, absolutely. So what's your outlook for this weekend? What do you think you got for him?
Well, we're running Grundy autograph night. And Saturday's also running autograph night. We'll be there by ourselves. Eddie and my mother will be at a wedding, and Daughter will also be at the wedding.
Who gets married during this season?
That's what I said.
Well, with all those autograph nights, you better have like a wrist brace or something. You might get carpal tunnel.
Several
there.
Sharpies.
Yeah. Thank goodness.
I had to get some more driver's cards.
While we like to give everybody this opportunity, because part of what we do here is we want to showcase everybody and showcase the partners and the people that kind of help put all the short track racing on. I know you got quite a few partners and quite a few people that help you out. So I want to give you that opportunity to go ahead and thank those people and tell us who you got on your race card, who helps you get to the track every week. So the floor is yours for that.
Yes, we might be here for a minute.
That's why we give you ample time.
Yeah, for sure. First, I have to thank Eddie and Dave for their time and their hard work to get me out there every week. It's very grueling, especially now with 2 cars. I can't even imagine. But then for sure. Of course, Dan for this new opportunity, running with his car at Grundy. It's pretty awesome. I really cannot believe that we've gone this far. I'm surprised we even got out of Hornets, to be honest. But everybody at Dave Daughter, Race Cars, and Illiana Industrial, and Blackhawks, and Aurelio's Pizza, the Grills, and everybody there. Stephanie and Scott for helping out this weekend. It's going to be a little rough, but I think we can make through it.
Awesome. One last thing before we let you go. Saw our buddy here, Ricky Klein at Kryptonite Photography. He did a nice documentary-style video and kind of hung out with you guys last weekend at the racetrack. What was that like, having a camera on you most of the night?
That's all right. It was fun to hang out with Ricky and do these little videos. It was pretty interesting to watch back and look and watch everything. And I told him in the week he asked me if he could do it, and I said, yeah, but usually we're just sitting around doing nothing. And of course he shows up and we break something and we're working the whole time.
I don't know if that means he's good luck or bad luck. I really guess it depends on your perspective, right?
It means it made for a good video.
It is.
Well, the power of editing, he can make you look like you're doing, all kinds of work, in just about 30 seconds or so,
Well, I think Eddie actually thanked me for taking a picture of Clay changing a tire on the car.
Get a reputation. You say you guys just sit around all the time, Well, see, it was just like ripping a Band-Aid off. Wasn't too bad with you tonight, right?
No.
All right. Well, that's all we got for you. That's quick, painless. That's what we kind of try to do. We don't want to scare anybody off too bad.
No, definitely not.
All right, Clay. Well, definitely thanks for taking a few minutes of your time out tonight and hanging out with us, and definitely good luck this weekend and the rest of the season.
All right, thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
Excellent, thank you. That was our interview with
a
man who races everywhere, Clay Curts.
And wants to race even more places.
Well, that's all right, man. Anderson and Winchester, that's...
that's not...
Those are big boy tracks.
That's not sneezing.
No, and... that's
definitely not taking the beater up to M40.
I see what you did there.
I did.
I see what you did there. But no, he's been pretty impressive out on the racetrack. He's one thing I've noticed, seems like he keeps the car clean, keeps his nose clean, which is definitely always a good thing. And
especially out at South Bend. That's not an easy place to keep your car clean.
Especially... or
Grundy, for that matter.
Yeah, neither place is very easy to keep your nose clean.
They both have reputations, and they both... deserve them.
Yes, very much so. So it'll be interesting to see as the season rolls on if he can either keep the Sportsman late model lead at South Bend, or if he can get back into contention with it. It's interesting to see if he can maybe pick up another win or two. Like we talked about with him, I mean, you're really only looking at about another month to month and a half left in the season. As crazy as it seems,
we're past halfway, and it doesn't feel like we're even a quarter of the way.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see what he can do there. Be interesting to see what he can do in that ride he picked up for Grundy County Speedway. Definitely, I know we'll be out there with S4 cars coming up here in the month of August, so I know we'll get to kind of go up against him head to head a little bit. So it'll be interesting to just kind of keep an eye on him and see how he does, and definitely wishing him all the best.
Yeah.
So did you watch the video Ricky did, the Kryptonite photography video?
Not
with Clay?
All of it, but I watched kind of bits and pieces when I had time to.
It was a pretty cool video. It's definitely a different take on some of the stuff that Ricky's done. Shout out to Ricky. How you doing, buddy?
Hi, Ricky.
It was definitely a different take on it.
I know. I missed him down in the infield on Saturday, but it's good to see that something productive came of it.
Yeah, it was really neat to watch, and definitely
kind of fun watching him wander around the track and all his different places he was recording from too.
Well, even when he was here and did the video on us over the off season, to see him kind of working and doing his thing, and then see what he spun and actually put out as a video. It's like, wow, he actually edits his videos. Yeah, he actually got some good stuff out of these two guys. So it's it can.
Well,
be
what are we doing wrong every other week?
Yeah, we just talked about it off air. Day jobs.
Oh yeah.
Well, he's got one too.
Well, yeah.
Maybe he's just a little more dedicated to his videos
there you go.
than we are. I guess I don't know.
I know he gets his pictures out faster.
He does get his pictures out quickly. You got to catch up to that.
I'm working. I got 3 tracks. He's got a track.
But he's also doing photo and video.
Oh, you're killing me, Smalls.
Just got to stir the pot. Just got to stir the pot.
Uh-huh.
So if you're listening...
there's stuff that I do that he doesn't do that takes time.
So if you are listening to this or watching this, either way, and you have not checked out the Kryptonite photography video that he did with Clay Curts over this past weekend.
Or any of his videos, really.
He's done some good stuff over the off-season. He did some shop tour videos.
Came here, visited us. Made us look a lot better than we are.
Yeah, no kidding. So definitely props to him for that, because that is not an easy task to do. So go check all that stuff out. Kryptonite photography. We did share the link on our page, obviously advertising that we were going to have Clay this week as well.
Wait, Clay's going to be on this week?
He already was.
Oh, yeah.
Already was. So look for that. Want to?
Well, now I'm just messing with him to see what order we recorded this in.
You're going to confuse me if you keep doing it. So, you know what we should probably do? Recap this past week.
Yeah, we should segue much more eloquently than we did, but here we go.
Yeah, but since we can't, here we are.
All right, so this weekend was hot.
It was hot, and a few racetracks canceled because of it. Safety concerns, obviously.
You know, not to stir the same pot, well, a different pot, but the same pot. There was a lot of back and forth on Facebook. People are either fans of the choice or not fans of the choice.
No, you're telling me that people on social media didn't agree?
I am saying that exact thing, yes.
Wow. Newsflash.
So do we dare take a stand and pick a side?
Have at it.
I'm just saying it was hot.
We are an opinion show.
It was hot, and we'll get around to why maybe the tracks that canceled might have had a point.
Yeah. So I could go either way on it. Obviously, hindsight's 20/20.
Right.
Looking back at hindsight, at least here at our house, which is about an hour from any racetrack
and was also hot.
It was hot, but there was a good solid breeze.
Right.
And it was actually a decent breeze towards the evening.
Saturday night, when the first line of storms went through, it dropped about 20 degrees, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, and even Friday night, it wasn't too bad. There was at least a decent breeze. And I think that's kind of what made it nice. And you're not really going to know that, I guess.
Right.
You know, I mean, they tell you what wind direction and wind speed you're going to have on a forecast, but it's really hard to tell how that's going to go
and
evolve.
Predicting a 20-degree temperature drop,
you really can't do that.
We're in the part of the summer when that can happen within minutes.
Yeah,
kind of like it did.
And definitely compared to last weekend, the previous racing weekend, we had Illiana night at South
Yes,
Bend.
we did.
That was hot.
It
was hot. There was no air movement at all, which I think is probably what made it so hot.
Well, yeah, down there in the bowl at South Bend, you get nothing.
Even in the stands, there was nothing. The flags weren't moving, nothing. So that made it pretty warm. So I can definitely see there's definitely merit there, but at the same time, we've been plagued by rain so much this year.
I totally understand wanting to get as many races in as we can because we've had so few. But it was hot.
It was. It was. So it's not an easy position to be in. And obviously, we've had track promoters, owners on this show, and they go about their weather protocols and their weather procedures, and they've talked about it, and it's not easy. And for half the population, you're wrong. Half the population, you're right. It's a lose-lose situation.
It is.
So,
just like rain.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing. It's just the other end of the spectrum, really.
Yeah.
So, Grundy County Speedway and Plymouth Speedway were the two that I know of that canceled.
It was kind of one of those waiting up on a school morning to hear your school called for a snow day kind of thing. They were just watching all the tracks on Facebook. We're canceled. It's hot. We're canceled. It's hot. We're canceled. It's hot. Hey, it's hot. We're running.
Well, and that also goes a little bit farther too than just should we race? Should we not race? The society is changing. Obviously, you see declining attendance at other major sporting events, and
the Cubs are still doing pretty good.
Yeah.
That'll stir the pot.
Yeah, way to stir the pot there. But still, people aren't as apt to go to sporting events.
I have noticed that.
If it's not like absolutely 110% perfect.
Right. And even then, you're pulling teeth to get people out of the house.
Yeah, or
free free-ish on TV.
Yeah, off your phones. Yeah, exactly. Honestly, I made a comment sitting to Shiloh. We were talking about going somewhere Saturday night, possibly to Plymouth before they canceled. And I'm sitting there looking at Fans Choice, and I'm like, well, I can just sit here on the couch here and watch races from Berlin without having to go anywhere, and I can sit in the AC. So I'm sure other people had the same line of thinking. So I'm just saying. So
you're one of them.
I'm getting spoiled in my old age. What can I say? So yeah, Grundy County Speedway, Plymouth Speedway, local ones that canceled due to the heat. We definitely understand it. Shady Hill ran an adjusted schedule.
They did. They started, I believe, an hour late and didn't run practice.
Yes, so that definitely helped. Jamie Lomax took the modified feature win. Torin Matil, I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right.
I believe it's Matil.
Matil. I think you probably corrected me on that once before.
I might have. Well, he's one of Christy's friends from the go-kart track.
But I've slept since then. So But he took the pro late model feature, Carson Day. That was an easy name there, definitely compared to the other one.
Yeah.
So he took the four-banger win, and Preston Oberly in the Bombers division took the victory there. South Bend Motor Speedway, I at least give South Bend credit. They did a $1 Beat the Heat promotion to try to...
And there was a pretty decent-sized crowd.
Well, for $1, you know, I mean,
there were some events that we're not going to touch on here that a lot of hypothesis about what dollar night kind of crowds look like and act like, but overall, I think it was a pretty good crowd and eventually pretty good night.
Yeah, definitely want to shout out to the Sowers family for taking a gamble, really, to lower your admission prices, because it costs money to run these racetracks.
It does. And I don't have a full list, but I know we got to shout out to several people. I believe Behringer's threw down, and then Jim, the tow truck driver, left money at the gate paying for people's tickets in advance.
So definitely those folks doing their part for the local short track community, getting people out, keep getting their backsides trackside. You know, what more could you want?
That's what we asked for.
That is what we asked for. So
not sitting in your recliner watching Berlin in the AC.
Well, for what's worth, I didn't actually do that. I just said, hey, we could.
Right. I'm just throwing you under the bus since I threw Clay under the bus.
Well, that's kind of what you do. You're a bus thrower under.
I am the truth talker.
Truth talker.
I am king to your JR.
It's going to be your pro wrestling, the truth talker.
No, that's a terrible name.
That's his intro now.
No. Back this up. You're editing this.
Yeah, I'm going to have to now because you spiked off the audio chart. So our feature winners from Saturday night. Derek Davis took the front wheel drive feature. Jared Pritchett, the GLS Mini Cups. Cole Rotan, the Midwest Champ Carts. And Jacob Maynard took the Sportsman late model feature. And
that was it.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was it. The night was called due to a medical emergency that happened in the infield towards the end of the Sportsman late model feature. So before we go any further on that, definitely want to send our thoughts out to Ron England and his family. He's the driver of the T3 Sportsman. Wishing him a speedy recovery.
Absolutely.
From that medical emergency.
That was scary.
I can imagine you were down there.
I was.
So you had a front row seat for it.
Yeah, that's not something I want to relive. I would never want to see that again.
Yeah. So, obviously, probably a multitude of factors went into the medical issue, but heat probably could have played a bit of a role into it, and maybe that's why some of these other people canceled. So, kind of a.
Right. Still lose-lose situation.
Yeah, exactly.
The one winner, though, is the South Bend safety team.
It's amazing.
The various emergency service. And I don't even remember. There was so much going on. I know there were 2 fire trucks there from different places. I assume one of them was from Warren. I don't know where the other one was from.
Well, and
there was some police officers there. The ambulance showed up, and everybody worked their tails off, and they saved a life.
Yeah, which is incredible. Because you think about more often, what some of these short track safety teams, entail.
Yeah, that's not. And I guess that's not a normal occurrence.
No, not at all.
So just the fact that I believe within like 7 seconds, Jamie York, who we had on the show, was going from watching the race on his quad to performing CPR.
Right, which definitely is yeoman's work. Obviously, I work in an industry that provides goods to first responders. Our company has a first responder training facility, so we definitely see the training and stuff that goes on for first responders. But to actually know of a situation where it's put into practice, trained, qualified personnel, which, to be honest, not every short track has.
Right, South Bend's really to this level, kind of in a class of their own there.
To this level of trained personnel, to have that on staff there who can spring into action and do their work. From what I've heard and read, other competitors that were down in the infield and crew members.
Yeah, I don't think there was anybody that not thrown in.
Pitched in as well. So to really say that they saved a life is just incredible. well, and definitely shout outs and our hats off to all of them, because a lot went into the fact that he's still here with us today. The training and preparation of that safety team.
Jay Freet posted a picture, I think the following morning, that he took after everything had calmed down, of just them pushing Ron's car back to the pits, and he kind of thanked everybody on the second line there that helped load Ron's car up and take care of everything after he was transported.
I think more. We've talked about it here about South Bend Motor Speedway, how it feels like family, and they proved it. That's exactly what it is. This is family. You do what you can to take care of your own when they can't take care of themselves.
Right. I mean, I've seen racers come to blows on the racetrack, but
and then they'll go back and drink beers.
That's exactly what family ends up doing.
That's it. And then, they say it in showbiz all the time, the show must go on, though.
And that's I get what you're going here for.
I'm really just going for a transition.
You are
for a transition. That's not like saying that. I commend South Bend for canceling the show after that.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's.
It's not an easy decision to even decide to run in the heat, and then after
we were just kind of screwed going into this weekend as far as decisions.
So as they say, the show must go on, and we're transitioning to what we have coming up this weekend.
Right,
that's where I was going with that.
Looking ahead.
I was not stirring a pot.
Around the next turn.
Simply making a transition down the backstretch into turn 3. That's where we were going. That's just it.
All right. So turn 3. Let's dive in really hard and gather it up.
Yeah. So we do have a lot of racing coming up this weekend. Looks like the weather might be a little bit better. Early indications. So Grundy County Speedway this Friday. They have their back to school night already.
Yeah, and they're running their autograph night postponed from this past weekend. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be a really busy night.
Busy night, busy weekend. Full program of racing, late models, mid-amps, street stocks, pure stocks. So that'll be Friday night. Then on Saturday night, the Plymouth Speedway, they have the Sprints on Dirt series out there this weekend. Plus, they'll be running modifieds, 600 micro sprints, street stocks, and thunder stocks. So if you're in that area and want to go check that out. Shady Hill Speedway, also running Saturday night, the White Lightning Showdown, which has been rescheduled a couple times.
From one of the weather issues we've had this year.
Yes, so that's been rescheduled, and they'll be running that this Saturday, along with iMod Trophy Dash. So it'll be modifieds, pro lates, bombers, and 4 bangers.
All right, I know you've got it in your notes here, but I believe they posted right before we went on the air that they are not adjusting the times.
All right, so we originally thought they were going to start an hour earlier, but apparently now they are not. So check their Facebook page, Shady Hill Speedway, for all the latest on all that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, and quite frankly, check all these tracks' Facebook pages, whether it be Grundy County Speedway, Plymouth Speedway, Shady Hill Speedway, South Bend Motor Speedway, whatever track you're going to. Obviously, it's the best way to get the information about when.
Right, we do the best we can with the information we have at the time.
Yes. So, and that information is mostly readily available to you via social media or website.
That's where he gets it.
That's usually where I get it, unless I get inside knowledge, which we do get that from time to time. But
right, like Kenny Wallace was going to be at the thing for the place.
Right. But we digress.
Yeah.
Then South Bend Motor Speedway, they'll have the Northern Outlaw Vintage Series this weekend. So if you like to see vintage cars race, get out to South Bend Motor Speedway. As I choke on my spit. Northern Outlaw Vintage Series.
Jamie's not on this week.
Yeah, with the Outlaw late models, late model sportsmen, street stocks, front wheel drives, and the Hornets. From what I understand, they'll be running the makeup features that they didn't get to do last weekend.
But don't quote me on that.
Again, pay attention to the Facebook page.
Right, and I believe they're doing their autograph night intermission backpack has been rescheduled for August 10th,
right?
So they're doing their intermission autograph pit party, so all the kids can go down, meet the drivers when it's still light out and half the drivers haven't gone home yet.
Right. So definitely a lot of autographs, a lot of Sharpies going through, driver cards being passed out this weekend. Because like I said, we're getting down to the nitty gritty here in the season. So definitely be sure to get your backsides trackside at one of those fine facilities, or maybe you're somewhere else wanting to travel around. Maybe you're wanting to go up to a Kalamazoo or a Berlin or somewhere else. So wherever it is, just go.
Yeah.
Get your backside trackside.
Don't stay in the AC sitting in your car and watching Berlin.
Hey. A little bit of racing news. A little bit of region racing news.
All right, yeah. You alluded to that earlier.
Alluded to it a little bit ago.
And I didn't read this far into the script. So.
Well, then how do I know if it's proofread? Because Lord knows I didn't do it. Saw that Plymouth Speedway had a couple announcements this past week that we want to address. The crate sprint car class will be unfortunately phased out after 2019 due to low weekly car counts. They have not announced a full-time class to replace it, nor does it look like they're planning on that, at least as of now. But they will be increasing the number of cyberstock events, so they're like four-cylinder, front-wheel drive classes. They'll be increasing those events in 2020. I know they have a couple throughout the year over there, not a main class they run, but so they'll be increasing that. So that'll be.
Well, I mean, South Bend did a similar thing with the mini stocks. They ran the mini stocks full time last year, had a really hard time filling out the fields, so they put them on a limited schedule this year.
Sure, and it makes sense, and anytime I've been out to Plymouth, the sprint car class, while those cars are awesome to see race, they don't draw the numbers that the modifieds or some of the other classes do.
Car counts really taking a hit this year. Just not necessarily one track in specific or one division in specific for any particular reasons, but
so you're not going to get into the Grundy County Speedway.
I wasn't going to say it. I was just going to say that there's a lot of car counts that haven't been what they have been in previous seasons across pretty much all of racing.
I had to just bite my tongue and censor myself a little bit there talking about it because I think there's a lot of undue whining about the tire rule, but that's me and my thoughts and opinions. And what do I know?
How to operate a podcast.
Yeah, barely. I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. No, I didn't.
Yeah, I was going to say, Shiloh might know about that.
But when you talk about increasing the cyberstock races, the front wheel drives, four cylinders, that is a class that, financially is viable for a lot of people.
So what you're saying is you should run what you can afford.
I think we had a pretty prominent guest not too long ago suggest that.
I believe so.
So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out next year and how many events the Cyberstocks will get out there at the Plymouth Speedway and kind of see where those sprint car racers decide to go. Obviously, I think they probably have a home in like the Sprints on Dirt series. So it'll be interesting to see that. But in the same line of thinking with the sprint cars, Plymouth Speedway
sprinting this week
also announced that Tony Stewart's All-Star Circuit of Champions, along with Tony Stewart himself, from what I gather, will return to the Plymouth Speedway.
I'm just having flashbacks of PRI last December.
They will return to Plymouth Speedway August 17th, and I know we've told the story on here about when we met Tony.
I think when the stands were on, we told it.
Yeah, so we told that, and
so now that we know he's coming back to Plymouth, even though it's not 20 minutes away from his house,
even though he would like it to be, because he would go run it every week if it was. He told us that he will be back August 17th. So
there we go. We need to get Tony Stewart on.
Oh man, I would be nervous about that. I would be more nervous about that than anybody.
Just to get him and Stan on at the same time.
Just because of Tony's track record with the media. If I ask a stupid question, I'm never going to hear the end of it. At least with most people on here, when I ask a stupid question, I can at least make it sound semi-professional.
Right.
But that I would totally get roasted, and I really.
Well, maybe let's get another year of Hornets under your belt before we jump up to super late models.
Yeah, maybe. So we've got a lot of people that help out with this show.
We do.
First off, Damn It Race Videos. You can find him on Facebook and YouTube. I know he's pumping out content, pumping out videos.
I saw he was arguing with YouTube a lot this week, but I think he got everything up now.
Believe me, I know that argument. It does not.
Yeah, I want to say Ricky was having the same problems.
YouTube, I tell you, it's a gift and a curse. So definitely do not want to take what he does lightly and putting out those videos every single week for the Grundy County Speedway and the South Bend Motor Speedway. So if you're jonesing for some racing mid part of the week, or if you are a competitor, want to do a little studying, a little research for the next week, go ahead and check him out. Damn It Race Videos. Again, Facebook and YouTube. S4 Motorsports Marketing. You can find them on Facebook and Instagram. Actually, believe it or not, I kind of got a schedule from Stan earlier today about some of his planned events.
You're going to go to a racetrack?
It might be a little while, but yes, I will eventually make it out there.
Okay.
At least nothing else for the Bentonhausen. I think he's planning on doing that. That's at least a Saturday.
Better than nothing.
So keep posted on everything that they're doing on Facebook and Instagram. Good Acre Photography, those guys.
Yeah, those guys, they're doing pretty good.
Let you do this part of the commercial.
You always throw me under the bus.
Well, you should know what's going on with them. I mean,
you think I have any idea? I mean, I own the company, but I don't know what goes on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're on Facebook, Instagram, and Good Acre.
Christy on here to tell you what's going on with it?
That actually would not be a bad idea. She knows more than I do. I just sit there and edit the pictures.
All right. What do you guys got going on over there?
Well, we got to actually just finished up this past weekend at Shady Hill today, so those should be up sometime. Well, I guess by the time you're watching this, they should be posted already, now that I think of what day it is and what time it is and what time you post this.
Correct.
So if you haven't checked them out now, they should be up already in the future. And then we're kind of backlogged on South Bend, so I've been busting my ass trying to get those up. And man, we take a lot of pictures. But you can see them all at goodacrephotography.com/Grundy, South Bend, or Shady Hill, depending on which track you're looking for. And while you're there, go look at the other tracks. I got way too many pictures. Look at them all. Buy some.
Okay, I got nothing to add to that. Also want to thank International Women's Motorsports Association, IWMANation.com. You can also find them on Facebook and Instagram as well. I know one of these times we'll probably try to get her on here.
Yeah.
But the only issue is she has her podcast on Tuesdays.
Right while we're doing ours.
Right about the same time we do ours. So maybe...
Actually, poor scheduling.
Well, you know...
Who goes to a wedding during race season?
That's a different discussion for a different time. But regardless, go check them out. Keep tabs on everything they're doing. And also want to thank Left Turn Graphics. You can check their Facebook for current specials. You can check out.
Yeah, I was just out there getting some stuff, and I totally spaced yelling at her about why we don't have our banner yet.
Well, again, that's your delegation. So,
all right.
So
Melissa, you are on notice.
Also go to the souvenir stand at South Bend Motor Speedway. You can get all their products, all the stuff that they do there, sublimation and graphics and all that good stuff out there as well. So if you're at the South Bend Motor Speedway, check all that out.
Yep.
I think that's going to do it for this episode.
I think so.
I got to
gathered it all back up after diving into 3 really hard.
We just try to slide her sideways and get her to hook up and hammer down. So that's what you try to do. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to like the video and hit the subscribe button to get notified when we upload new content. Remember, you can also catch us on iTunes, Podbean, or your favorite podcast app if you prefer to go to the audio-only route, which, side note on the audio-only route.
Oh, there's a side note.
There is a side note. Had a interesting email last week from Podbean, their team. They are going to be beta testing a new live podcast type feature where your podcast would pretty much become like an actual radio show. You could do call-ins and things like that. Obviously, we remember the old Short Track News Radio,
right?
And show episodes that were on Mondays. I did sign up to be part of that trial.
Bear with us.
So bear with us.
This is going to be fun.
Yeah. So that is scheduled to come in August sometime. I don't know when. They didn't give me like date or anything.
All right.
So the plan would be to obviously try that out. Would enable you, as the listeners, it would put us back live, which people liked when we went live.
Live is always fun.
Live is fun. And
especially when you're in landscape as opposed to portrait.
Correct. Well, see, this is audio, and we wouldn't have that problem.
Right.
And then also would give you guys at home listening the opportunity to call in. Also,
we're really poking the bear with that one.
Well, I got a vision and a format in my head, which is a scary place, by the way, to be.
That's what I mean.
But I think it could be fun, and we will try it.
Definitely worth a shot.
It's definitely worth a shot. Something we'll try. So keep an ear out for that. Yes, because that would be.
That's a microphone.
That's a microphone. That would be audio only. That's what I get for talking with my hands. So
exactly.
That would be an audio only deal. Something, and if it's successful, maybe that's the route we go. And because these videos take up a lot of space, they do take up a lot of space. And as we.
I'm right there with you. I got lots and lots of pictures.
As we've discussed, YouTube isn't always friendly sometimes.
Right.
So it would make things a little bit easier because I can then directly export it to Podbean and it'll be right there for your podcast listening.
Definitely
pleasure.
sounds like some off-season thrashing on the car going on, except it'll be thrashing on the computer.
Yeah, so just something that once it comes out, we'll play with it and see how it shakes out, see if it works, see if people like it, and then also something I'm probably going to start doing here. Since as we've discussed multiple times, we are past the halfway point of the season.
We are.
We kind of want to get your feedback out there. We want to see, do you like this format, this pre-recorded format? Did you like the live stuff? Do you like the videos? Do you just like the audio?
Do I get a vote?
Well, you can take the polls once they're up.
Okay.
So,
that means I got to qualify first.
To get the poll, yes, you got to qualify. If you like the guests we're having on, if you liked other people,
if you like the host we have on,
or if you'd like somebody else, which
Hey, wait.
So
don't make that an option.
So once we get this episode posted and everything, we're going to slowly, probably over the next week, roll out a set of poll questions just to kind of get some feedback about how we've done a little over halfway through the season, and kind of start planning how we want to mold this and shape this going forward. I think feedback is always good, and it can always be
unless
used.
It's a microphone.
True, then we don't want no feedback. So be on the lookout for that. Those will be coming, probably one at a time, just that way we're not getting super overloaded with information, but we definitely want that information nonetheless.
Kind of like we throw at people when they decide they want to be on our podcast.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or we convince them they want to be on our podcast.
Yes, it's not like a mafia thing. I mean, I'm not like, you want to be on the podcast. Trust me. It's nothing like that.
Why not?
Not that style, man. Not that style. So,
I didn't get a choice.
Well, you kind of could have said no, but you really couldn't have.
Right, but like 6 years, like 2 or 3 years ago, whenever we started doing this as the other podcast that we did for
the podcast that shall
6 weeks.
Yeah,
I believe I was offered the option, and then when I showed up that first time, you locked me to the chair.
I mean, you can leave if you want to, but I'm just saying, no one wants to listen to me talk.
I'll take that as a compliment.
I really wants to listen to you talk.
See, you should have stopped while you were ahead.
Well, yeah. So, all right. So now that we've crashed into the turn 4 wall, we want to thank Clay Curts.
We did everything we could to gather it up.
Yeah, and just couldn't make it. I want to thank Clay Curts for his time this week. Definitely wish him good luck the rest of the season. Hope all of you out there enjoyed the show. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for consuming our content. And until next time,
thanks for not turning us off.
Yes. Until next time, racers and race fans, go fast and turn left.